Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be asking some fellow people in the Discord server that happen to be German. They're all German. Some pretty interesting questions from a Reddit thread titled Ask a German. I'm going to go down a list of questions, ask them a bunch of questions and stuff, and kind of go from there. So if you guys are here for it, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to partake in other videos like this, because I want to make this a series, go ahead and join the Discord server. Link is in the description down below. I'm active on there, and I would love to have a conversation with you guys and just talk about life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Boom. So we have a few questions from Ask a German, the Reddit thread, right? And the first one is it's something kind of simple, right? And you guys might know this. So which spelling is more common or natural in Germany? Hannah spelled H-A-N-A, Hannah spelled H-A-N-N-A, or Hannah spelled H-A-N-N-A-H?
For me, the last one is what I saw the most, though. So H-A-N-N-A-H.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, the H at the end.
I've never seen Hannah spelled any other way, to be honest. That'd be kind of weird, right? Like,
like Hannah Montana.
Yeah, literally. I had Hannah Montana just like that. I've only seen it spelled that way. Like any other way would just be like, I feel like there would have to be a V in there, like Havana. You know what I mean? Like not like a Hana with no H. I'd be like, who are your parents?
Maybe as a,
like your parents.
Maybe as a short form of something, or
yeah, you're right. It could be that too. So the next question, if you guys are ready to move on, are you guys ready to move on? Because there's some interesting questions. Okay, so it's past midnight. Where do you go to get some food, and what do you get?
That's funny. Well, where I live, because I live on a, like more of a village than a city.
Ooh, okay.
I can't really get any food past midnight.
Dang.
But but in cities, there I know that mostly in the big cities in Germany, like the main cities, the capitals of the Bundesländer and so on, you can order food after midnight as well. But I think that except for McDonald's, which I have to obviously, but except for like McDonald's and so on, like normal stores are always closed after midnight. I think the latest in Hanover, where I live, closes at 0.
So okay.
You can only get McDonald's or order food from food ordering.
Yeah, actually, the Burger King in my town isn't open at this time. It closed at 11 p.m.
Oh. Okay.
So maybe I'll just get some food from the gas station.
I was gonna say, like the gas
next to my house.
Are they like 24 hours over there?
Yeah, they are 24 hours there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there too. Yeah.
And they make their like their little snacks really fresh and so on.
What? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Did you just say the gas station where you are? I mean, in general, in Germany, they make fresh food?
Yep.
Yeah, they make
Oh dang! Gas stations are like places you get snatched up in
At this
America.
time, they make new bread and so on. You know,
What?
like they have bread, they have chips.
Oh my god! Okay,
drinks,
that's cool.
Cigarettes, lotto, wash and go and so on. There's everything.
Wait till you go to a gas station in America. Oh my god!
Gas station in Germany, best of all.
Do you have the saying that where you are in Germany as well, that like you can literally get anything you want from the gas station? So we have the saying, oh, we are on Sundays. Stores are closed on Sundays in Germany, so we don't have any toilet paper. Let's go to the gas station.
Oh my god!
Obviously,
they're basically like supermarkets.
When you're drunk, it's so. When you're going out with friends and you're drunk, you don't think about the money. You just go to gas stations.
Literally.
Because the shop are all closed. So this is the only possible way. And in gas station, the prices are very high. Like one bottle of vodka, I think it's maybe 18 euros. When you go in river, then you have a vodka bottle for 1990. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But when you're drunk, you don't think about it. You just buy it.
Oh yeah, that sounds insane.
I'm more of the energy drink drinker, and the Monster Energy in normal stores cost like €1.50, and in the gas station it costs almost €3, so most price than normal.
Actually, which flavor do you like? From Monster?
Many.
Oh, you're a Monster fan, huh? You need your caffeine. Bro, I've had Monster one time and my heart started twerking, man. I'm like, I don't know about this, G. I feel like my heart's about to blow up. Like, there was like a self-destructive countdown thing going on in my heart. I'm like, oh my God, I can't never drink energy drinks again. And, you know, what I do for energy drinks, I feel like, I know it's off topic, but it's kind of related because we're talking about energy drinks now on the topic of that. And I do have another question related to this, you know, the whole German thing after that, right? Basically, I am very, very sensitive to caffeine and even alcohol since I don't drink it like that, right? I drink it once every blue moon. Like, if it was up to me, I would drink maybe like a sip of alcohol every 3 years. Like a sip, like maybe like a half of a glass of alcohol. Like, it could be wine, it could be a beer that I don't finish, it could be like a half of a shot, but like every 3 years it'll be like a sip, and that's it, you know? But unless it's social, if I do it socially and people are like, oh, come on, man, you can drink more than that, then people are buying me drinks, cool, like I'm game as long as I'm not paying. Now, the second thing is with the caffeine. It's like, well, how does that have to do with caffeine? Now, caffeine is interesting, right? Because obviously it works the same way, right? If you drink like a Monster for the first time, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody remembers their first time drinking Monster, man. Like, everybody damn near went to the ER, you know? It's like, damn, like my heart's about to fucking blow up, you know? So, you know, after a few more, you know, cans of Monster, your body's kind of like, if he dies, he dies, you know? So you're like, so now
this boy, oh my gosh.
So what I do, you know,
kill me.
What I do is literally I'll drink like one energy drink every like 2 to 3 weeks, so it has the same effect, you know? So I'll drink an energy drink if I really fucking need it. Like, if I didn't get any sleep, I got like maybe 30 minutes, I went to work and I'm like running on fumes, I'm like falling asleep at the computer, I'll go to the gas station, grab a Monster, and it actually works, and I'm like, wow. But it's one of those things where your body's awake but your eyes aren't, you know? It's like, ugh. It's very messed up. Now, to tie this back,
a monster after this. Yes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Literally, you are a monster. You could literally turn into a monster after this. There's a reason. There's a method to the madness. There's a reason why they named it Monster. But I was actually asking you, are there any German energy drink brands? There's got to be, right? Like, do you guys have?
Yeah, Booster.
What's it called?
Booster.
Oh yeah,
it's called Booster.
That's like the shittiest energy drink ever. This is like when you don't have enough cash with you.
That's like
then you buy this energy. Like it costs 50 cents.
No, not anymore. It's actually a brand, but like 3 years ago, it really was the cheapest one, and everyone got it when they didn't have money for Monster or something. But yeah, also Red Bull is actually Austrian, so it's not German, but yeah, Red Bull is Austrian.
Oh, I got a really crazy question for you guys at the end of this, because I had it saved on a sticky note because somebody asked some wild shit on Ask Reddit, and I wanted to like hear you guys' opinion on this. And everybody watching this video, please go crazy in the comments down below when you hear this. I might actually make this into a separate video, and then we can like rant about that. I might chop this up into several videos, but I'll stay on topic with this, and then it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, like sorry to interrupt you. It basically so I guess there's like, you know, at night and stuff, you guys have like, we could all agree, like gas stations, right? You'd go to a gas station, you probably pick up like what, like if you're drunk and stuff and you go to a gas station, what do you guys get? Like an energy drink maybe? Why would you get an energy drink at night though if you're drunk? Like, that's kind of weird. But...
I don't drink alcohol, so
okay, so what would you get?
Yeah, obviously, and also something I wanted to add. I think that Germans are actually not that sensitive to caffeine because we really are a coffee country.
We are.
And a cigarette country
So
too. I've never seen so many women smoke cigarettes in my life. I mean, everybody. Like here, though, I'm in the military, so it's normal for me to see everybody smoke cigarettes. But on the civilian side, there's not a lot of people vape, I guess, but not a lot of people. But like actual just cigarettes, I've never seen so many people smoke in my life until I like.
That's true.
Really looked at like.
Yeah, sadly.
Like, Jesus, like y'all is.
Yeah, I used to smoke. But I quit.
Yes, I'm smoking actually, but I'm trying to give it up because I want to dance again. Because I think it's also good for my health and.
Don't try, do it.
Yeah, I do it. I do it right now.
I quit cold turkey. I quit cold turkey. Hold on, let me think. I quit cold turkey in 2003.
Ooh, damn! Wait a minute. Oh my God, I was 8 years old. I mean, I hope you weren't smoking at 8. Like, what the hell?
Remember, I'm the mama of the group here.
Oh, I can't see any usernames because I'm like literally looking at a website right now. But okay, I recognize the voice now. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I was like,
tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh, tomorrow's your birthday?
So what? Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say
47.
Like, oh, what? I want to say something, but I don't want to jinx it.
Say something.
I can't because you're gonna be like, no, bad luck.
Don't do that. That is very true. Good for you. Good for you for remembering.
See, I learned.
You got some brownie points.
Look at this, guy. So everybody in here, I want to like talk to you guys about something. I posted a video earlier today about a guy in my comment section. You guys probably saw it. That was like, oh, I hate your German videos because you don't make any progress. Like you're not actually interested in the country and da 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 da. And then I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I wasn't interested, I wouldn't have gone as far as to make a Discord to talk to people. Like, I mean, or try to learn the language, you know what I mean? Like, and more than a few videos. I mean, there was a lot of things I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But the culture, I wanted to come at the country in a unique way. Because I know there's hundreds of thousands of people that make videos in Germany all the time, right? But I'm like, well, for me personally, I think the best way I can absorb information and make it kind of entertaining too is kind of like stretching it out as in every way possible, like learning the language, the culture, you know, like things like that, the superstitious stuff. Like if you don't make eye contact when you like clink your beer glasses together and stuff, like it's like 7 years of bad sex, which is, oh my God, imagine every time you clap cheeks, it's just like terrible. You're like, oh my God, like just because you didn't make eye contact during the clinking of glasses, that isn't that weird?
Oh my God.
So I wonder if you can cancel that out by making eye contact with the next person. Does it lift the curse, or is it
listen, it's just a superstition.
I don't know, maybe it's a superstition for a reason, you know. Maybe some people have had a bad streak.
You know what I would call that though? I would call that a PP, a personal problem.
Damn. What? So if you couldn't make eye contact for 7 years, there definitely is a personal problem.
Also, I wanted to say, honestly, I'm so impressed with your German.
Yes.
Really?
So yeah, so for me personally, so I didn't really learn English in the school. I learned English after the school while speaking and TeamSpeak and so on by playing video games.
That's good, bro. Your English is
great.
I like it.
Thank you. But honestly, I think your German is so good by now, really. For someone who isn't really practicing for that long. I mean, I know people here in this country who really, I can't really spell that word. Literally.
Yeah, it's all good.
Thank you. Live in this country for 10, 12 years and their German is like not even half as good as yours.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit, I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I just thought the comment was interesting because he's like, oh, he's doing it for views. I'm like, Germany's not a big country, man. I mean, I hate to tell you, I hate to break it to you, but India, that's a different story. Like, if I made a bunch of India videos, we'd be at 2 million already. You know what I mean?
Listen, haters gonna hate.
Just don't listen to some people like that because you're like, you the person if the person is not interested in you, so then he can stop watching your videos because
exactly.
You give us opportunities to talk to you, to play with you, some games. You're always there for us, texting us and everything. This fan or old fan or hater didn't see what we see now, because we are up here to talk to you at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, literally, I'm ill, I could sleep. No, I'm here to give you some tips for your content and stay there and be your fan and support you in every way.
I appreciate that.
This person, you don't have to listen to them. And there are many people like me. They have the same view like me, you know, the same vision of you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I was in BAM school and I talked to Julian Bam once, and I thought at first when I saw his videos, I was like impressed. I was very impressed, like with his team and so on. But when he closed his dance school, I was so sad. And then his new content, I was like, okay, I'm not hating him, like changing his content, but I'm not watching his videos anymore because I can't support this kind of videos anymore.
Yeah, I get
but
it.
I don't hate him, like, you know.
It's just like, you
know, when the person don't like it, he don't have to watch your videos, you know?
Absolutely. I only made the video in the first place because I thought it'd be interesting content. I'm like, oh wow, I mean, I could ignore it, but this seems like a good video. So I'm like, opportunity knocks, you know. I definitely thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Also, just for everybody that is hopping in the chat right now that doesn't know what's going on, I am asking some questions from Ask Reddit, actually. And, well, not Ask Reddit, but this is Ask a German. And then there's one question from Ask Reddit that I wanted to ask as well at the end. And it's going to be a very interesting question. I might make a separate video asking the same question again to see, like, what the response is going to be. Because the answers were incredibly, like, detailed.
Can't wait.
So...
But I love you, love.
Oh, thanks. This is the next question, right? It says, are you getting tired of those people who are saying the German language is harsh and ugly? The context behind it, right? There's a comment here. It says, one thing I heard more often about Germans than World War II related stuff is that the language was harsh, angry, and mean. And in parentheses, it's not. Mostly from foreigners.
I'm tired of that.
Native German speakers, have you heard this phrase? Does this annoy you? And how would you reply to this?
Yes.
Obviously we heard it. Like every German heard it. Also, every German was once in his life called Nazi for no reason.
Sure.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
So
yeah, our language is harsh, and I mean we can't really hear it because we speak it, and when we speak with each other, we don't really speak that harsh. But I can understand that to other languages which have like more of a softer spelling, that really sounds like it, especially if you don't get in touch with German and don't really know the language, that then it sounds harsh. But honestly, I think the Slavic languages sound more harsh. But
they do,
that's
man.
just my opinion.
God. But no one says
I agree. I was going to say the
always
same
depends
thing.
completely on the language.
Yeah.
True.
And how and what tone of voice people are speaking, because the thing is, what Americans get to hear from German is usually in Hollywood,
movies,
you know, Hollywood movies,
Nazi
and then
movie,
it's usually like satire,
Yeah.
you know, this overly pronunciated German that no German speaks like that when you see them on the street.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet them.
Yeah, there's
So-
like a softer rounded
Yeah.
accent instead of like the hello, here is za 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 za. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I mean,
When
yes, go ahead.
as when you so I have a good example, because a lot of times when you have like English movies, obviously we Germans mostly only watch dubbed movies because we don't really have access to everything in original voice, but I heard like some cuts from different movies where the actors spoke German. Some of them were actually native speakers of German, and some weren't.
The ones.
Yeah. So the ones who weren't native really let it sound really harsh. But one actor, Christopher Waltz, when you listen to him, you can actually hear how German normally sounds like. Right. So obviously you do know already.
With a bit of an accent.
Yeah, he has an Austrian accent, but his spelling is not that harsh, I think.
Oh wow, that's actually
every language has a melody, you know.
Yes.
Like Spanish is like hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Daniela y tengo 20 blah 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 años. It's like a melody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like also Mexican and Latina Spanish. Everything has a little melody. Also French, and some melodies are soft, and these languages are mostly these people who speak that soft languages think that our German, the language German, is very harsh because they are not getting used to it. Like
it sounds a lot different. There's
knowing it better,
I don't hear it often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like
you hear French and Spanish more than German. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because I think my German is not harsh
at all.
Ich bin Daniela, mein Name ist Daniela.
Right, and it just depends also from what region in Germany, because there are so many dialects. I don't know, there are like 150 dialects or something in Germany.
That's a lot.
I believe it's a lot of them. So literally, you could be in one town and then drive 20 miles, 50 miles up the street, and it's a slightly different dialect already. You know, especially in southern Germany, for example.
How do you feel about Irish?
And it's like Daniela said. It's like Daniela said that there's always a melody to it. I 100% agree.
Yeah, Byron also like super like Disney German. I call it.
Also, Rammstein isn't really helping.
Oh no!
Du hast mich. So about the dialect stuff. I live, like I said, I live in Hanover. We are called to have the clearest German. I think a lot of people say that.
The clearest Hochdeutsch, or.
Yeah, we speak literally only Hochdeutsch, so I can't speak any dialect. But honestly, I met a lot of people from different parts of Germany, and everyone who has like a slightest bit of accent, I honestly notice where he's from, just because I don't speak dialect and I hear it. And I once knew someone who was from Dresden, which is Saxony. Yeah. And he told me, where I live, I'm called Hanoverian because I speak Hochdeutsch. I was like,
what?
Dude,
no,
you speak Saxony.
Like, what the hell?
That's funny.
Also, wenn man Hannoveraner ist, dann spricht man wirklich reines Hochdeutsch und kein Dialekt. Ungefähr hört sich das an.
Bei mir hört sich das so an. Ich bin Schwab.
Schwab?
Ja, das hört man.
Schwab?
Hier.
Wait. Kannst du Schwäbisch sprechen?
Ich meine, ich wohne jetzt in der Pfalz.
Ich kann ein bisschen Schwäbisch schwätzen.
I grew up in Bavaria. In Niederbayern.
Bayerisch,
Also ihr habt den richtigen Slang vom Süden.
Honestly,
that's cool.
So for me is I don't draw the R, so we Hanoverians, we don't draw the R at all normally. Mm-hmm. So everyone who wrote the R, I already noticed that he is not speaking Hochdeutsch.
Yeah. See, but I'm Bavarian. I'm Bavarian, but I was born in Essen, which is North Rhine-Westphalia.
Yeah.
That's where my mother is from, so I never learned to roll my R. So I speak my southern R in the back of my throat and not on my tongue. Isn't that funny?
Oh, okay.
When I try to roll the I do that as well, yeah.
Wenn die so das R rollen, das ist eigentlich Fränkisch.
Oh, Franconian
Yeah.
is such a
But I'm
beautiful
not-
dialect.
Really?
I grew up in the Bavarian
Yeah.
forest, so
I knew someone who was from Franconia, and I love this dialect. It's so beautiful.
But can you please keep
Really?
talking? Say anything. I'll listen.
In German or in English?
Oh no! Just what you're saying, but the person who had like a good ass dialect, right? You're like, I'm like,
So-
you're probably like, oh
the
yeah,
Franconian.
yeah, Franconian dialect. Like oh yeah, like
I don't have a Franconian dialect. I have a Bavarian dialect.
yeah.
A little bit influenced by Franconian dialect, simply because I lived in Schweinfurt, which is in Franconia, for a couple of years as an adult. So you know, the longer you live somewhere, the more
So-
you kind of
pick up on the habits and stuff.
pick up on the dialect. But I grew up until I was 18, 19. I was in the Bavarian forest, Niederbayern.
Oh wow.
And then as an
That's
adult, a couple years,
Northern Bayern.
I
Also-
lived in, yeah.
James, just an information for you.
Yeah.
Franconians hate when you call them Bavarians.
Wait a
Yes.
minute. So
Even though actually, technically,
are Frank-
Franconian is part of Bavaria,
Wait a minute.
but
Yeah.
they hate to be called
Franconian is
Bavarians.
Frankfurt, isn't it?
No,
No.
Frankfurt is in Hessen.
Frankfurt is a completely different region.
Yeah. Frankfurt is a city. Frankfurt is a city, and Franconia is like a region in Bavaria geographically. Franconia is like comes from the kingdom of Franconia from the ancient times. Like, not ancient, but like the Middle Ages.
I feel like there's layers.
And
to this,
Frankfurt
right?
is just a city.
Related to
Because
France
when you look at the
as well?
map, there's
I don't know.
no
Nein,
Bavaria on the
Franken.
map. It's like
Franken
a
Empire.
section.
Yeah, Franconia. The kingdom of Franconia is actually the kingdom which gave France the German name Frankreich.
Ja.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
okay.
Franconia is Franken, yeah, something like this in
Yeah,
German. I
Franken.
forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Franken.
Franken.
So and Frankreich is the German name for France. So
Right.
yeah.
That's cool.
Das Frankenreich, ja, genau.
Oh my god.
The Franconian dialect is a little bit like endearing, kind of like the Schwäbisch dialect. It has like endearing endings,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes
But
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and yes, absolutely right. Franconians hate to be called Bavarians because
Yeah.
they say, ich bin ein Franke.
So the rolling R is so beautiful from the Franconians. I love it.
Die Franken.
They should like
I love how they roll the R.
Rollen
Yeah.
das R richtig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds so beautiful. I really love it.
it's such a
Kann
like,
ich auch ein bisschen,
yeah.
weil ich in der Steiermark gelebt habe.
Do you speak other language except for German and English?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes, I do.
What? For Bray, sorry.
Chinese, a little bit of Chinese.
Oh,
I take
oh, wow.
Chinese so that's another
which
thing.
one?
Huh?
The traditional one or the Mandarin?
Mandarin.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Oh.
the thing is, I learned Chinese for almost 5 years, right? And I was really good at it. I could read it, write it, speak it very, very well. I have to teach, so that's something I'm going to add on the channel, like in the next year or so, so I can dive back into learning Chinese again, because I was really good, and I could, like, you know, say a whole bunch of stuff, the sentence structure, had nailed and whatever, but I want to be able to, like, I've been sticking to German content for the last 2 years because I don't know, I need to like commit to learning a language, right? I can't just half-ass learn something and then jump out of it. So once I feel comfortable where I'm like, okay, I can speak with someone from Germany easily and have a really good authentic conversation, then I'll move on to another language as well, and while still freshening up on the German stuff, which means I'll still have a lot of German content on the channel, but then I'll be introducing a lot of Chinese content on the channel as well. So that'll be pretty interesting too. And then instead of just traveling to Germany, I'll be traveling to like different like China towns in America and stuff like that. May possibly even visit China and test my Chinese to see how good it actually is, because one thing that I learned you know, learning German, right, and it never really clicked until I started speaking with people in Discord, is that and even like, you know, noticing how people pronounce words in, you know, YouTube videos or whatever. When you're learning German in school, right, like they'll be like, hallo, ich bin Johann or whatever. You're like, whoa, that's different. And then when you hear it in person, it sounds entirely different. It's a lot more rounded off. The words are slurred together. It's a lot more conversational. And I'm like, I want to learn German that way, because that's a practical way of learning. I don't want to learn it in a school because it's too boxy. So when you hear me speak it, it's going to sound very robot. You're like, oh, it's cute. Look at the guy trying to speak our language. We speak English. You don't have to worry about German. All right. You suck at it. So I'm like, you know what? I at least want to be able to, and even if I suck at speaking it, right, I want to be able to understand regular people speaking German, right? Like you know, just a regular conversation. I could just hop in and like maybe eavesdrop and go like, ooh, this is what they're talking about. I'm nosy, cool, you know. And part of that is like understanding how.
Look, they're making fun of the American on the bus.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's so literally like, it's like, oh, and it's not even that. I mean, they could be making fun of me, and I don't really care, to be honest. I know a lot of Americans are very, very, very just it's a cultural thing, but I'm pretty sure you've noticed in every movie, and probably from just interactions with Americans in Germany, probably very egotistical, 100%. If you're speaking German around them, for the most part, they're gonna think that you're talking shit about them. And even though you're talking about something entirely fucking different, if you speak German in America with a friend that also speaks German, they're gonna think you're talking shit about them. They're gonna immediately jump to the most extreme hostile thing, because they're like, why are you doing that? We're in America, we speak American. And I'm like, first off,
we speak American.
I'm like, your intelligence is bleeding through your skull right now, sir. Please stop. Secondly, it's just, I hate that shit. I honestly do. It's just so cringe, and it's so, and it's terrible. It's so terrible. So like I said, for me, I wanted to try a new approach in learning languages, because obviously, like with the Chinese thing, I learned it in school, and I was obsessed with it. So I would go out of school and I would like you know, try to learn, but I learned through just looking up more stuff, like books and writing and stuff like that. My speaking wasn't the best because I didn't practice with other people, like native Chinese people. I didn't really practice like that. There's maybe one person I did, and it helped a little bit, but yeah. So the bottom line is, the way that I'm learning now is pretty unique, and I tell the story all the time, because I'm like, well, I want to make learning German fun. Everybody says German's a very difficult language, which it is, but it's not for me, because it's super I look forward to learning it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's why I react to so many meme compilations, because either I'm not going to understand it and I'm still going to make more meme compilation reactions, or I'm eventually going to understand that shit and get a good laugh, you know? So it's like, okay, cool. It's like cracking a code or a puzzle. It's like, oh wow, like, and I feel good, you know, even if it's like one word I learned today. I'm like, wow, like Vona, I never knew what that meant. Like, I thought vo meant who, and I thought wer meant where, you know what I mean? Because where sounds like where, and vo is like who without the H, like, you know. So obviously, once I learned
the nice thing is go ahead.
It's with my Japanese the same way. It's like, I'm learning Japanese right now, and it's harder than it looks like, but it's not that hard as it is, you know. It's you just have to learn every day, like a little bit, like
little something,
half an hour or something like this.
And sometimes not even that, like whatever time you
exercise yourself, like when I'm watching like anime in Japanese, because I understand it very well.
Oh, that's some god tier stuff right there. But I'm just saying,
and
if you watch anime in Japanese, you win.
Yeah, and I just don't
Yeah,
have
it sounds
to
better.
watch this
Yes.
title, like subtitle.
Yeah.
Like
A lot
I
of
can
subtitles
just
are
watch it
mistranslated
and
too.
try to understand it. And I tried it with Blue Exorcist, and it worked very well. And I was in the library, like here in Stuttgart, and I had a photo shoot with some friends, and there were Japanese girls. They come over to me and ask me something, and then after that, I walked past them. And then they are talking bullshit about me in Japanese, and I was like, oh, I actually understand what you're saying.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh,
I just didn't say anything. I just didn't say anything. I just walked over to them, just looked them in the eyes, like with that look, like
Yeah,
if
like,
you're gonna say any word more, then I was gonna kill you. Like,
yo. They probably didn't even know that you knew, though. They're like,
and
why is she looking at us like that? Like,
she was really nervous. She was really nervous in this moment, and then I walked away, like, with really proud because I didn't say anything, but she'd understand my face.
the face exactly. Everybody understands body language
because it's
Asian,
so mean.
exactly. That's actually one thing too, which is crazy, right? So I remember, so the school I went to in high school, it was very, very diverse, but this was very common in general, right? With Asian culture in general, Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, Laos, the whole Asian culture as a whole, the big stereotype from what I have seen is very, very, very very respectful, very submissive as far as the energy that's radiated off of the people there. So it'll be like very quiet, but there is a big ass but. They're
they
very
talk smack.
aware. Yes, they talk. They do talk shit. I am not gonna lie. It's nail salons, yo. Oh my god.
Oh my god. You don't know what happened in their life.
They literally they'll look you directly in your eyes, right? And they're like, "Oh, how was your day?" And then they'll start talking shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about this bitch's day. Like, the fuck? Like, I'm about to scam the hell out of it. That's not everybody, but it happens so much more than people think, right? But then they'll say it in such a sweet voice, and that's actually what I was saying about German. I'm like, it'd be so crazy if you were trolling an American person in German by speaking in a polite tone but talking shit, right? It's like, oh, du kleine Hurensohn. Like, oh my god. Like, oh, what did you say? It's like, oh, you lovely person. Like,
yeah, in the studio, I was I go every time in the same one, and the chef, she's always greeting me like really friendly and so on, but her co-worker, she was so mean. Like, also her German was really broken. I couldn't understand her well, and she did my nails wrong.
oh, damn.
And the boss is like crawling on her knees and begging me like, don't go, I'm one of them best customers and so on. And I just like, don't worry about a thing, it's not, just do it again, please. Ja, und dann haben die es einfach, they did it again, like really friendly and so on, but I heard the other girl talking about me like in her language, and I was like, oh.
Shit.
Aww.
It's so
Like,
bold too. Like, they'll do it in front of you. Like, they'll be like,
I know.
yeah, and they might even make eye contact with you while they're talking shit. They're like, damn, like,
Yeah, like,
that's tough. That's some bold ass shit.
So, honestly, I really think that I think it's in America too. Maybe you can confirm or not, because I know that America is really different depending on if you're at the north or south or east or west. But in Germany, the mentality between northern Germany and southern Germany is so drastically different.
Same.
I live in northern Germany, and we are direct as fuck, and when we don't like you, we tell you that, but we don't talk shit behind your back.
Yeah, it'll be to your face. That's like Northern America. People will be like, oh yeah, like, you suck, like, you fucking suck, like, get out of my face, right? So
yeah,
it's funny because actually, funny story, this low-key turned into a podcast, but funny thing Ooh, I can't say it right now, but I'll say it at the end after I'm done recording. Cause I know how I'm gonna get people to watch this. It's actually kind of conniving, but it's interesting. We're live, guys. Yeah, we'll say that. But anyways, so basically, where was I going with this? Can you tell me the last thing?
North and south.
Oh yes. Okay. So from Chicago, right? And everybody up there would say the same thing. Oh, James, you're too nice. You're too nice. You're too nice. You're way too nice. Friendly as fuck. Too nice, right? Well, when I changed, you know, settings, I was definitely not given the same energy, right? To me, everyone else was incredibly nice, right? I was in Arizona for a while, and everyone was incredibly nice. Like, it was a Southern hospitality type thing. But Arizona's a little bit weird. It's like it's a different vibe, but it is still South, and it's also the west side of the United States. Like, the eastern side of the United States is a lot more harsh. People don't give 4 fucks about you. The western side of the United States is very, 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 like, some of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. You want to meet a sweet person? Western side of the United States, easily, just to save you the hassle. Western side, always a great experience with the people. Anyways, I was told that I was definitely a dick when I moved out there. They're like, wow, dude, you're an asshole. I'm like, whoa, really? Like, me? I've never been told that before, actually. That's pretty impressive. Like, okay, cool. Because I would be very direct with people. If I didn't like somebody, I'm like, I don't fucking like you. Like, why are you talking to me? we've been talking for 5 minutes and I don't fuck with you at all. So, yeah, because people were very not cool with that. But up north, it's like, hey, you don't waste time. It's like, I don't like you, get out of my face. Okay, cool, whatever, next, you know? But the problem I have with the South is the Southern hospitality to an extent, because it's very fake to an extent, you know? It's like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, it's very like, oh shit, you know, because you can't tell if they're being genuine or not, you know? So I'm like, fuck, you know, it's the same thing. And oh, by the way, so my friend from Alabama told me this: if people say bless your heart, it's not,
I was just about to say,
it's not a good thing. People say that to me so much. They're like, oh, bless your heart. I'm like, they've been calling me dumb for my whole life.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Damn, that's harsh. But it'll do it in such a way where it's like, call me dumb again. I actually kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very roundabout way of saying you don't have brain cells occupying the skull at all. So, very interesting. So yeah, like you said, that there's a giant difference between the North and the South in general. Lots of things. Also too, I think the South is more, where they are a little bit more bold, is of course the melanin levels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm getting at. They
yeah, actually the people in the South are like, what I feel like from someone somewhere else, like a person from somewhere else. I came from an island. The people are helping you and helping each other. Like, I get you these things and you get me this back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you give me your egg, I give you milk, like this.
Which island?
And we help each other there. Yeah. You're not alone. But here in the South, when I'm asking someone if he could help me to pick something up, or I couldn't reach something in the store, I'm really short, they're like looking, like judging,
like,
you know,
no?
instantly
like,
judging you of your question. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's messed
I let
up.
you alone.
Yeah, I mean,
and I go in the train and sit down like a normal person. And then I see everything is full. Like, I'm sitting alone in a space for 4.
Yeah.
Everyone is sitting. Some people are standing, and I'm thinking like, huh, why is nobody sitting here? Am I looking unfriendly? Like, and I stood up. For an older person, he was like, oh, no, I'm not sitting here, and so on. I was like, oh,
dang.
What did I do? Like, okay.
Where was this? Where was this?
In the subway.
In Germany?
In Germany, yeah, actually. And
Yeah,
I was
what
like,
city?
and I had a and I saw an older man, like he got on Krücken, and
Crutches.
I
Crutches.
also hurt my feet, and I got up to give him my place, and he said, "Oh no, I'm so not sitting there." So, and I was like, "Okay."
That's so weird.
Why do
to
you
hear.
think that was?
Like I don't
People are
know.
weird,
I just
man.
don't know, because every time when I go with Subway, it's always like that. It's not like
Really?
I'm just like, okay, if you don't want chat,
That's
I will
interesting.
keep this
I remember
seat.
I got yelled at
I
one
don't have
time.
a problem.
Korea is like.
And then
really-
there are people there saying I'm too nice to people. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just thinking I have to be nice because when you're nice to someone, you get nice back. But if you yourself,
Nah,
you know.
That's
That's.
And then I learned, okay, you have to put some lines here.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
you
Like,
know,
it's,
like
it's a big thing.
well, I wanted to add something to that because I think you live now in southern Germany too, right? So we Germans have like a stereotype for Americans. Obviously, you are not confirming the stereotype, James, but it's fitting to what you said earlier that some Americans are kind of fake.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
Yes.
oh my god, yeah.
I will add something to that when you finish.
So we really have the stereotype for Americans, but Northern Germans have that stereotype for Southern Germans as well.
Oh.
We, North, because we are so direct, we see it like this that I take Bavarians as an example because they are the prominent ones, especially for not Germans.
Yeah.
We are like, okay, Bavarians are like always friendly and so on, but like they are too nice and too friendly. But yeah, so this is just a stereotype. Yeah,
we have a stereotype for you too.
It's like so we really Northern Germans and Southern Germans. The funny thing is, I think we really are like bumping our heads a lot, but normally we are like more like, haha, like a little bit. I don't know, ärgern. How's it
like
English?
cocky?
No, to jemanden ärgern,
teasing.
To tease somebody, to aggravate somebody, to poke fun at somebody.
That makes sense.
So we don't hate each other. We are more like teasing stuff. So like a joke in Northern Germany that Bavaria is like a known country. It doesn't belong to Germany at all. It's like more like for itself.
It's just rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. It's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah,
So
the stereotype from my region where I'm from is incest. So Alabama with Germany.
Where's that?
Saarland.
Holy shit.
Saarland. Wunderschönes Saarland.
That must be new because I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Saarland is France 2.0.
Yeah, I was the same.
Alabama.
Zarland is pretty much
I did
Alabama.
not know that.
Yeah,
That's the first time I've
Saarland
heard
is
that.
Alabama.
Yeah,
Really?
Zarland's the only place in Germany I've ever seen like a Confederate flag. I was like, damn, like I went on
Wait,
Google
what?
Maps and I'm like, that's am I seeing that right? Is there a Confederate flag in Zarland? Oh, you guys are out in the cousins country, huh? That's wild, man. Y'all really repping your stuff. Nice, I guess. No, it's interesting though. It seems that there's a similar divide, right? There's like because I know there's like the Ossi Vessi thing, right? And then like so there's like Eastern West Germans, and then of course North South. It's the same in America. So there's North South, culture, and then there's the East and the West. So northern part of America, very direct, very like in your face. Okay, cool, boom. But more so on the eastern side, that's like the peak, like New York. New York is like the peak of the most direct shit you'll get because people don't fuck around. They're like, all right, cool. And pretty much along the East Coast, everybody generally has the mentality of we're not gonna, like, we don't care about you too much, like just fuck off, Now, the farther south you get, then you get a blend of the Southern hospitality, so then it gets a little confusing because yes, you do have people that are very insensitive, very direct, but at the same time, you'll have a higher amount of people that are willing to help you out of the kindness of their heart because, Southern hospitality. Now, the perfect blend would be the Midwest. The Midwest is probably the most tame, balanced part of America. So your Ohio, your Chicago's, your I guess everything in between, all that stuff. Like it's St. Louis to an extent. There's dangerous parts of all these places, by the way, but there's dangerous places everywhere. But just the people in general, I feel like, are probably the most balanced. But the nicest people, from what I've seen, even if it's fake nice, the western side of the United States. People are very friendly and whatnot, and I think for tourists and stuff, if you want like a welcoming climate, then that is definitely an area. Now, I did have a subscriber tell me a story that was very unfortunate of a trip she took to Miami, or no, it was the Siesta Keys or some shit like that, like in Florida, so like south of me.
Florida.
Yeah.
Florida's
So
weird.
literally, yeah, it is very weird, dude. Very weird. The people are interesting, dude. Like the Florida man shit, like is definitely 1000% true. But it's like a blend of a bunch of stuff, right? So you have like cool people, you have not cool people, you have it's its own thing. Because obviously Florida's in the South, but it's so weird, man. You have to be here to kind of get what I'm talking about. It's definitely a high amount of eccentric people for sure, which is interesting, very interesting. Like for instance, the top part of Florida is technically the lower part of Alabama, so you would think it would have strong Alabama vibes, but then you have that weird Florida, aura to it. You add that on top of it, and it just turns everything a little bit sideways. So it's weird. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see it to believe it. But the bottom line is, the subscriber, she went to the Siesta Keys. She tried to like vacation out there, and she basically said all the people there were incredibly rude, like vivid detail of what happened. Like the people there were very like dismissive, like especially at the hotel she was staying at. She tried to like her and her friend tried to making friends with people that were at the resort they were at. Even walked around in the local area, and people were just completely like, I don't know, it's very dismissive, very rude, and they're like, I can't understand you. I'm sorry, what language do you speak? I don't understand your... And she speaks good English, so I'm like, whoa, like, what the heck? That's weird. I mean, they were just probably being rude as hell, because they definitely understood you. Like, it's so, and that's just part of the ignorant mentality I feel like people have, and it's not a thing.
But I have a feeling that it's just gotten a little bad these last couple of years because of the political climate that was infused into the fabric of this country.
True that.
This extreme foreigner hate. That was infused these last couple of years. And as a German living in the United States.
Oh, you live in the United States?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a German living in the United States, I must say I enjoyed going. Every time I go to New York, I love it because as a German, we're direct people to begin with.
Yes. So it's like you're in your element. You're like, nice. Tell me to my face.
And honestly, all the things that you guys mentioned about the North being direct and the South not so much or whatever in Germany, I didn't experience that at all. But that maybe is because of how I was brought up. My father, he's a Bavarian, but he's a very straight to the point person. Oh, okay. So maybe that's why. And his entire family, we are very direct. We're very direct people. So I never had that. And this is the first thing that I've heard.
Mentioned so he was like one of those people, like if like your mom's like, oh, does this dress look pretty on me? He's like, you look fat, you should change it. Like, whoa, okay.
Bro, sounds like me.
My dad is very direct, I'm not going to lie. So I kind of grew up in that atmosphere.
Dude, I recognize the mic. Holy shit, I can't see your name tag, but I recognize the mic. Dude, how are you still awake? I saw you awake.
I joined 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I heard your voice, but I thought I was tripping. I'm like, that can't be Chaos. That mic sounds too...
It is.
Beautiful.
I wanted to say something. Oh, my English is...
It's okay.
It's really late. So anyway, I wanted to say, because you mentioned this stuff about like the northeast of America and so on. I'm really invested into football, right? And what you said fits kinda what I heard about the fan bases of football clubs. Is that right? Because I heard that New Yorkers are like direct as fuck, and when, like, for example, a player of the New York Jets or Giants or whatever is like fucking up, the media is like destroying him immediately and so on. Same for Philadelphia and so on.
They're harsh.
So it kind of fits. Yeah.
It does.
And also, I wanted to set something clear, because I heard a lot of times that Germans are not proud of their country. We are not proud of our... Wait, we are not really proud of our country. We are more proud of our region. So people are proud to be Bavarians, are proud to be Hanoverian, are proud to be from the North Sea, proud to be from this Bundesland. Right. So we are more like regional proud and pride than we are actually proud to be German. So this is more like we identify ourselves with our region more than we do than with Germany itself. Although we are like Germans and we know that.
Yeah, that's...
And I hear that a lot too. I always get the question, you know, well, you know, how come Germans aren't proud of their country, blah, 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 blah. And so I always explain it this way. You know how here in the United States, you basically have an American flag hanging out in the front yard at every house or every other house. So you know, you have flags flying from the back of the pickup truck. You have flag. I mean, they're everywhere. This country have China fabricated American flags everywhere. Literally. Okay, and in Germany, you don't see it as much unless it's the Euro Championship of soccer or the World Championship or there's the Olympic Games going on. That's when Germans pull out their German flags, right?
Yeah.
So I always say Germans are proud to be Germans. They just don't show it on their sleeves. They show it by their solidarity.
Yes, that makes... Hey, that was very well said. Very well said. 100%. Because, and that's what I've noticed. Because I was one of those people that asked the same thing. I'm like, are Germans not proud of their country? Now, I think it's the not proud of the past thing, obviously. But the thing is, I feel like that's been rubbed into the face of like every German for the longest time now, right? It's like, okay, we get it, but that happened like however many years ago. Not to say it's not important, but hey, like we've proven that we've gotten past that. Like we've gotten assistance, and we're way better now. There's so much more to us. In fact, if that's the case, why do you guys want to come to Germany so bad? That's what I would be saying. I'm like, dang, like you got all these Americans, myself included, fantasizing about going to Germany, right? Some of the
you have to see something, because a lot of people who are not German actually don't know that Germany isn't an old country. Germany in this form is actually not even 200 years old.
Oh,
it's way younger than the United States. Before that, we were a lot of different kingdoms and so on.
Yeah, dude, what happened to Russia?
Almost like you can plus minus 20 years or something. It's 1900 where like Germany is founded like this. I think 1890s, something like this. Before that, we were a lot of smaller kingdoms, and that's what I mean, because most of our pride we have comes from being one of these kingdoms. So, for my example, like I said, I'm from Hanover. Hanover was a known kingdom, and that's you like, okay, I'm proud to be a Hanoverian.
Yeah,
I really love this city. And someone who's from Bavaria was a known kingdom. Of course, Bavarians are really proud of that. So this is like almost all of our history is not like based on the country Germany. It's based on the kingdoms, and that's what I mean. Like the whole being proud for Germany is like only a history from like 1900 onwards. And what did we have since then? 1915-ish was the First World War, where Germany really fucked up. Then was the Second World War. So, like, the history of Germany began in 1900. So the history of Germany began in 1900, and the first 50 years of it, Germany totally fucked up and made a lot of bullshit. Obviously, we aren't proud that much of being German, and more proud of being, like, part of whatever for my kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely get.
Let me tell you something. Since living abroad, I have been more proud to be German than ever in my life before.
I was gonna say, like, this is a good time to be proud because right now America is showing its butthole. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like every time I'm kind of sometimes embarrassed, to be honest, like more often than not, you know, because in the media I'm like, you know what, I don't think we messed up that bad. And then all of a sudden, figuratively speaking, someone is goateeing themselves on live television in front of millions of people. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, oh, America's back at it again with some goofy shit. Like, it's the weirdest thing ever. And it's like always what I've seen, right? Because controversy obviously sells, is there are so many narratives going around to divide people because it creates business for companies.
It's sickening.
Exactly. And it's gotten to the point where each of the smaller communities, like well, they're not small communities, but they're minority communities, right? Like you have like Africa, like the Black Lives Matter community, the LGBTQ plus community, you have like vegans, and a bunch of all these little communities are beefing with each other, like because of how everything's being pitched, right? It's like, oh, for like right now, like everybody's in this campaign to cancel Dave Chappelle, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, like listen, just don't watch the damn show. Like there's I got into this whole like debate, right? And basically just like you were saying earlier, like the person that like I made the video on, I made it for content, for the lulz, for the memes, you know, I honestly didn't care about the comment, but I'm like, cool, like it would just be cool to dive into it and do a breakdown and kind of just show where my mind's at. But the same thing with things you don't like, you don't want to see, you just don't watch them. Just look somewhere else. You don't have to force other people not to watch it either, right? And that went into a deeper conversation later on with you know, because I got into an argument with a friend of mine, well, who I thought was a friend, apparently not, so someone I knew, basically, about like an artist I was listening to. Was of course this, you know, started on Facebook. He posted like another friend of mine's like, oh man, like I don't understand why people are you know, stopping, they're not listening to music just because the person who created the music did some shitty things, right? Like I don't support the person themselves, but they made good music objectively, right? It's like, okay, I'm only going to listen to people who've done community service and who have clean records, and then all the music is trash. And that's an over exaggeration, but you get my point. If it sounds good, you're going to listen to it. There's a painting that Hitler made, right? And it's like, ooh, look at this painting, do you think it's beautiful? And you're like, yeah, of course, it looks amazing. Hitler painted it. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Ew, gross. And it's all because of a status thing, right? But we have to be honest with ourselves. Is it a good product or not? Let's not follow the mob. Let's use our own brains and quit being sheep. But what happened is my friend's like, oh, you support all the horrible crimes that R. Kelly did against women and da-da-da. And you're basically R. Kelly. And I'm like, because I listened to his music, you fucking idiot. Like, do you hear how you sound right now? Like, it's so crazy. And it's so crazy that people are so passionate about defending their issues that they're willing to insult people who are not malicious at all towards them at all. It's like, hey, I just appreciate this product and I don't support the person, so I'm more likely to illegally download the damn song, you know what I mean? Whatever songs I appreciate, but or it can be songs, it could be paintings, it could be video games, it could be whatever, right? But the point of the matter is, we've entered this generation, this realm of mob mentality that you know, and it's become very divisive. That the media altogether, I hate saying media because everybody says media, but like, you know what I mean, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, da-da-da, to kind of get engagement up on every platform. It's like, oh, let's stir the pot. I see all these big meme pages or these big tabloid pages stirring up controversy for no reason. It's like, oh, black man tells trans woman that he's not attracted to her. Is he transphobic? Question mark.
Who cares?
And then all of a sudden there's this big cancel campaign. It's like, ooh, black men are transphobic. It's like, he just said he wasn't interested. He didn't say he wasn't interested because you were trans. He just said he wasn't interested. That's it. And so they spin it, and so it creates this crazy divide. And now you have people that are so passionate about defending themselves, that they would go as far as attacking other people as well. And so what's happening, it's like we're all yelling the same thing at each other, and we're disregarding what other people are saying, so no one's hearing anything, if that makes sense. So it's like, oh,
why can't we just all love each other? I don't
exactly.
understand.
I think it's time to cancel culture.
Bro, if I hear cancel,
but honestly,
it
really feels like a hating mentality in the past years, especially in the social media, as you said. I noticed that a lot, that it's so much more hate than it was like 5 years ago.
Bro,
everyone is hating everyone, and no one is really accepting anyone. So we Germans are like accepting, so it almost every time you hear like, okay, we Germans, we have nothing against black people, we have nothing against this, we are so acceptable and so on.
Yeah.
But still, we have a lot of people here in the Germany which are like really not that much accepted.
Oh yeah.
But you don't really hear that, and especially on social media, everyone is like bringing everything out, and I think it's mostly also because of the how's it called, anonymous status,
anonymous profiles and stuff like that. That's honestly
you're anonymous on the internet, so nobody gives you any repercussions for what you're saying. So
exactly. Like
and people can just spew all kinds of BS, like literally lies and conspiracy theories, and just total nonsense, utter nonsense. And people are eating it up like it's the holy grail, and I'm like,
you know why?
Hello?
It's because, and I realize this, right? The one thing that the internet did that no other platform could ever do is it gave every single person a voice, which is a good and a horrible thing. Because imagine, like, all right, now I'm not meaning to poke any nerves, but yo, if Hitler had a social media, Jesus Christ!
Oh gosh!
Like, he would have tapped into America heavy. I'm not even gonna lie. He would have tapped into America heavy. America would have allied 100%. Like, there is no way they would not have allied at all. Like, they would have 100% allied. So, like, if we had like a social media, they're like, oh my God, we were thinking the same thing. Oh my God, we literally have black people in our backyards right now. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Like, literally, like and I don't even say that ironically. Like, I'm pretty sure with social media, we would be networking people who are horrible with each other, and also people who are good with each other as well. So and we always think about the positives, right? It's like, oh, like what do they always say? For, like, let's say, like, so as a content creator, right? I hate saying that, but like the bigger I get, right, the bigger the community gets, which is great. The bigger
the influencer.
Yeah, the bigger, like, you know, the support, the bigger the supportive. Yeah, oh my God, influence. That sounds even more cringe. But yeah, basically, like,
bro, that sounds like Instagram model.
Yeah, so my Instagram thought days. No,
James the Instagram model. Yeah.
I mean, have you seen his
James Bray beams
but the bigger you get,
have
right,
you seen his Instagram
the bigger
posts?
like your community gets, right, and then the bigger the support gets. But the thing is, let's say you have 10 million like subscribers on YouTube. Well, let's say you have, like, out of that 10 million, you have like 9.5 million of those people support you to death. It's like a cult, you know. But then 500,000 people absolutely hate you. That's 500,000 people that are on your ass. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like on you like white on rice. And so that's what's scary, right? And think of that in the form of social media nowadays, and what we were just talking about with the divisiveness. So, like you said, and you're witnessing it firsthand. Like, a lot of people are very, 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 like, strongly opinionated. Everybody gets mad when I say this, and I've said this on stream, and everybody turned the fuck up. Everybody turned up. I'm like, I don't vote. I do not vote. And people are like, what? Oh my God. Like, I don't vote. I don't care to vote. I don't give a fuck about voting, because for me personally, no one represents my my way of thinking. And honestly, too, on a fundamental level, as human beings, we don't care about other human beings when we're in positions of power like that, right? And for the people who do care that are in positions of power like that, the rest of the snake pit is tainted. They're all tainted, bro. So like, it's like they try to do things to help, but then they're getting screwed over by other people in their own party, and it happens way too much. And of course, what they do, they'll use the people that are very passionate about making change, and they make them the figureheads and of becoming the very thing that they did not want to become. They're like, oh, we're gonna pass this policy that gets every immigrant out of the country, even though you support immigration, of course, right? Like, we're passing this bill, we're putting your name on it, and you're gonna be the figurehead, even though you don't agree with it. But you got to deal with that because this is the field you chose. So, for me personally, it's just for me personally. I'm not telling anybody to not, but like, it's just me personally, and it's very controversial. So I was saying, like, for me, I feel like my purpose, right, is just creating a climate where people feel like they can have a conversation. They feel like they can unwind, decompress, and be themselves, right? And it sounds very cringe, but it's so true, right? We ignore mental health a lot. Like, we talk about it a lot, but we ignore it.
The stigma here
Not
in the
we,
States
but-
about mental health is just huge.
James,
Such a
James,
huge stigma.
James,
Good God.
Maybe you should not say we ignore it. Maybe you should say people ignore it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we, I mean, like,
No, we
society.
ignore mental health.
Like, like literally, like society, like we as a society. ignore mental
American society, 100%. There's such a big stigma about mental health care. It's maddening to me.
health. Yeah, it's sad.
Like,
Like,
Interesting.
even in the military, so
too.
I can say this without getting like in trouble, I think, but basically they say, oh, if you're experiencing any PTSD or mental problems, you should go to mental health and stuff, and you know, they'll help you out. What it actually is, let me tell you what it's career ending. All right, you go to mental health, they do an evaluation on you, and they're like, oh, he crazy, get his ass out. We don't need that in here. Get him out and put him on some weird meds so he definitely can't ever function properly here. So it's messed up because people are looking to actually better themselves, and it's so hard, and there's this big stigma that if you do get treatment, that you're crazy, that you're worthless, and that you're broken and damaged goods, and then it's on your record too. So when people see that, they're like, oh, this guy has mental problems, we don't want him. He's
they discharge you from the military because you're no longer capable of handling a gun, and so therefore you're not of use for the military. But then the kicker now comes the kicker. So then they discharge you, but you can still buy a gun at every corner, basically, because you're not being screened.
Exactly.
When I really hear that, right, I really don't want to live in America at all anymore, because honestly, I really hate that in Germany, mental health is really accepted. And we get a lot of help if you have mental health problems here, and real help. And they try to give you back a job. And you even get, like, if some boss is hiring you when you have mental health problems and you couldn't work for like 5 years, the boss gets money from the country for hiring you.
Yes.
That's cool.
And also, I wanted to say about the vote. I may get hate for this, but if I would live in America, I wouldn't vote too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, you can't vote anyways.
That's
you're
not
German.
And that's not even because of Trump or anything. It's mostly because a two-party system.
Yes,
it's horrible.
Preach. Bro, we have a two-party system. It's
Germany,
so cringe.
With 50 parties you can vote for. There is any party for anyone.
What do we have in Germany now? 27 or something?
No, in the Bundestagswahl last month, we had like 50 parties or something.
Oh, really?
God.
Yeah, but most of them obviously don't get into the government, but it's mostly... Yeah, it's like 6-7 parties in the government in the end, but still, you can choose one of the ones you you prefer, and that's why we have this voting mentality in Germany, that you gotta vote, because even if you vote a party which gets like, I don't know, 500 votes, it doesn't matter, you at least voted, and that takes power from the bad parties.
Well, the reason
That's-
why Americans tend to not vote is because, especially minorities or poor people, they have they feel like they don't have a voice, because here in the United States, your vote does not count as one vote.
It does.
It's still up to the electoral college.
Isn't there like the Wahlmännersystem or something?
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. It's the electoral system,
Yeah.
and that's why. And that's why
So
a lot
you
of
vote
a
for
lot of
the
people are
person
discouraged
you
from
trust
voting.
to vote for the person that you are wanting to vote for.
No, that's not the problem of it, in my opinion. The problem with the Wahlmänner system, the problem is, like in the first vote with Hillary Clinton and Trump, Hillary Clinton got more votes than Trump, but because he had a better like selection of Wahlmänner, he won the election. So that's the stupid thing
Yeah.
about it, because
Okay, I will leave now.
Alrighty, take care. You
So
have a good
good
night.
night.
Okay,
Have a good
bye,
night.
Danny.
Night.
Bye bye.
Good night. Good night. Schlaf gut.
so good night. So I
Yeah.
honestly understand
Yeah.
that you don't want to vote, so I have no problem with
I
that.
get
Because you don't
flack
feel
for it.
like your voice counts.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
the other and then the other thing that you mentioned about mental health, the other thing is 9 times out of 10 Americans don't even go get help for mental health because they can't even afford to get help, because it's a
Exactly.
specialist that you see.
Yep.
It's a specialist, and for specialists, even if you have good health insurance,
Yep.
quote unquote good health insurance, you still have a copay per visit of
Per visit.
at about $40, $35 per visit. So if you have therapy and you need therapy once a week to begin with, to get your problem under control, that's that's $200-300 a month that you pay just for the visit,
I could
even though you have insurance.
It's
never.
How is it in Germany?
Americans-
Isn't the insurance covered it all?
Yeah,
No.
ever in my fucking life could live in a country which doesn't have government health insurance
Well,
like
it's-
Germany.
So it's actually crazy, right? Like like I said, the mental health thing and even the voting thing, right? You'd be surprised how mad people get whenever I tell them I don't vote. They're like, "Are you kidding me? You're what's wrong with the country." And I'm like, dude, and that's the thing. So as I get older, the one trait that I have that I actually love about myself, it's been the bane of my existence though as well. I'm very stubborn. Like I'm the one person who could not get bullied into doing shit. Like in high school, they're like, "Oh, you better do this or we're gonna da." I'm like, do it then.
No.
I'm not doing it. Like if I remember one example is we had this one kid that would work with us, and we had it was called news crew. So we basically had a student news crew. We would make news reports on what was happening in the school in the local area, and one of the kids in the group no one liked, right? And everyone was too scared to tell him that we did not like him, and I was getting sick and tired of it. I'm like, listen, you guys tell him or I'm gonna tell him, because I don't like him and I don't want him to be here, and I don't want him to think that we want him here. And they're like, "Oh no, man, it's messed up." I'm like, "It's messed up that we're doing this. Like, you guys are doing this. I'm sitting back waiting for somebody to do something, and you guys are just being fake." So one day he came to school really happy, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I'm like, "Dude, we don't fucking like you." And he's like, "Whoa, where did that?" I'm like, "We don't fucking like you. We've been faking it. Nobody wants you here. You should probably leave and find a different friend group, because we don't meet. We have no good intentions for you over here. Like 100%. I mean, didn't want to sugarcoat it. So at least I told you, because these guys were gonna let this shit slide for like however long, and I'm just not with that. So boom, and. Of course they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. It's like not proper etiquette. It's disrespectful, blah, blah, blah." But I'm stubborn. So I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. Once my mind's made up, it's made up. I'm like, I'm going to do it, So going to the voting thing, right? I'm like, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote, because I feel like there's too many moving parts, A, and B, I feel like me as an individual, I feel like we were all individually placed on this planet to play our part in our own lives, and of course to add to the world if you want to. So for me, as I'm growing a community right now, right, the ideal is to eventually have enough funds to help other people, right, or organizations directly, and where I can see that happening, because I don't feel comfortable voting for somebody to make changes and stuff like that when you're not even guaranteed for that person to win, because people are like, oh, you can't complain if you didn't vote. And I'm like, okay, well, what if you did vote and your person didn't win? Are you allowed to complain? And if you do complain, what does that change? Absolutely fucking nothing. So how about you get off your ass and go do something? Like, if you want to go and support these different groups of people, then support them. Like, go out and do something. Like, there's things that you can do as an individual that people are unaware of that can be very impactful for the world, and just environmental stuff. I know I was saying the other day on stream that I didn't give a fuck about the environment, which I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. I care about people first and then the environment. All right. So people's mental health got to be taken care of, at least in America, because the school shootings is getting a little too crazy. I mean, it's almost expected at this point. I feel like they should be sending kids to school with bulletproof vests and metal detectors. Chicago, there's metal detectors at every high school. I thought that was a normal thing, but clearly it's not, because people are getting into schools and lighting that bitch up. Like, regardless, it doesn't matter where you are in the States. My point though is I feel like that to me is my number one focus is like people's mental health. And at least I can't put people in a great mental spot, but I at least can provide some entertainment and make somebody laugh, right? That's the only thing I think I'm good at, is making people laugh and connecting to people and having conversations with people. There was someone who was incredibly racist that was in my Discord. He literally told me that this is when I was reacting to country rap for a little bit, and he hopped in my Discord and he literally is like, I feel like you should be a slave still. And I'm like, whoa. And he's like, I feel like the way that your people got freed was illegal, and I'm not proud of that. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, so everybody's like, yo, ban him, obviously ban him, right? And I'm like, no, I want to talk to him. Like, I want to see where this mentality is coming from. I want to hear him out, and we had a conversation and it went well until he started throwing some insults. So I'm like, hey, you got a couple more strikes and then I'm gonna ban you. He definitely didn't care about that, so he was banned. But the point is, I want people to feel comfortable enough to talk to me about anything. If people have good criticism, bad criticism, want to just get something off their chest, want to vent to somebody, I want to be there for them, and I think that's the one thing I can offer as an individual person that can help change the world, because I don't want to vote, right? I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to do all those extra things people want me to do, because I'm myself and I'm living my life the way I want to live it. But I'm pretty sure it's like a small step for humanity, but a large step for like a small step for like an individual, but a large step for mankind, right? Because literally, like, if I make somebody's day better, they're a little bit less stressed out, right? If they're a little bit less stressed out, their mind can now wander to things that might be a little bit more impactful. They might be like, oh, you know what? I wasn't in the mood to go put in this ballot, but you know what? I'm probably going to do it now. I'm in a better mood. Like, girlfriend broke up with me, but this dude was talking shit about like blah, blah, blah. Like, people, well, he was talking some good shit about like valuing yourself and knowing your worth and blah, 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 blah. So I'm gonna go and vote, I mean, and it had nothing to do with what I talked about, but you just feel more motivated to do other things that are impactful. So it's like paying it forward in the best way you can, because we're all skilled at doing different things. At work, when I made that video like 2 months ago about me getting in trouble at work, and then people telling me like, I don't know how to do my job, I'm pretty much useless, and they sat me down, they're like, why does the military need somebody like you? Because at this point, you don't know your job very well, you mess up a lot and make a lot of mistakes, you're pretty much useless. And then I looked my boss in the eye, and I'm like, I can people better than any of you guys. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I can work with people better than any of you, easily. Like, there is no contest. No one in this building can work with people better than me. And that's it. Like, I feel like I can stop people from killing themselves. Point blank. And it's because no one asks simple questions. No one asks, hey, how was your day? Hey, are you okay? is there anything I can do to help you? You know, out of the blue, right? Because these are like pinging factors that someone cares about you, and no one does that shit. They're like, hey, we need to get this done. Hey, we need to get this done. And so people are overlooking these things. And they're like, you need to go vote. Right. You need to go participate in politics, or you need to go and change this or do this. And I'm like, I, as an individual that is capable and very self-aware of what I'm capable of doing, need to help the things that matter to me, which is everyone else's mental health. I'm not going to do anything else but focus on that. And if I can change it, there will at least help, right? I'm going to do that.
May I ask you something? Because I'm really curious. So, like I said, we in Germany, I had a psychotherapist session on Monday, actually. This was my first ever. And in Germany, it's like, you go there, you give him your health insurance card, he scans it, and that's it. The health insurance is paying for it, everything. Wow. So I literally, and that's for almost anything.
Yeah.
So I really, honestly can't imagine just how it is to pay for that.
Yeah.
Because I imagine, so honestly, it's not like I can imagine paying for it, but
bro, I can't either, because I'm TRICARE is covering my shit. Like I know.
Right. So that's exactly what I mean, because like the thing is, and I'm curious about what you will say, German chocolate, whatever.
Yeah.
So because like it's not even that I'm wondering how it is to pay for all the like health stuff and so on. It's also all the consequences of it, because when I have to think about paying for it, I will probably not go to the doctor if I had to. So we Germans tend to go to the doctor more often, obviously, because we don't have to, quote unquote, pay for it. We pay for it, but monthly. So anyway, but since it's more likely free, we go there. So I think we are more healthy because we have no problem. So, and then I hear some stories from American people who are like, so I follow this channel, Mr. Beast, and
there you go.
Yeah, and he's giving people money, and they're crying. Yeah, I have so many medical bills, and I'm like,
yeah, the same thing. That's the first thing they be saying too.
In Germany, we don't, and that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fucking glad that I live in Germany.
Yes, bro.
And that's not even, so, because I just don't have to, and then, honestly, I have 2 minutes about it, because Obama tried to make health insurance for everyone, with Germany being like the blueprint for it.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of Americans didn't want it.
We ain't no damn commies.
Yeah, I think the problem.
I get to hear that all the time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The problem, because a lot of Americans actually don't want it, is because you can't fit a system onto a big state like this.
That is a lie.
Yeah, and expect it to work from day one, because if you have the system, any system, for like decades and centuries.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
It takes time to adjust.
But okay.
Exactly. So if you have a system for like decades or even centuries, and you want to change it, you can't expect people to welcome it with open arms.
Well,
Also, ich habe eine kurze Frage.
One problem for it.
Also, bist du vielleicht ein bisschen an deinem Mikrofon?
What?
Who, me?
Bist du vielleicht ein bisschen an deinem Mikrofon? Oder stößt da?
Is it better now?
Ja.
Oh yeah, you were definitely
sorry.
in the red, bro. I'm pretty sure everybody was
Yeah,
watching this right now. Like, bro, what the fuck? How can you like?
I'm sorry, my TeamSpeak is like, I have to put the microphone directly to my mouth, and on Discord I have to like.
Is my mic okay?
Yeah, your mic is good. Your mic is good.
Okay.
This dude is so much deep throat in his mic.
What I wanted to ask is, how is it to be a German living in America with exactly this topic?
Okay.
Because I even heard it also with the ambulance, because we honestly have no problem calling an ambulance here, but I heard that you most likely call in taxi.
Yes.
more
People
than
here
yeah.
try to avoid taking the ambulance at all costs because it's freaking ridiculously expensive.
A couple of
So-
$1,000 for
I've
it.
seen a video of a guy jumping out of an ambulance.
Literally.
For Foop, are you American too, or?
No, I'm German.
Okay, I
Okay.
didn't know. So anyway, James,
Yeah.
just to inform you, we Germans, when we call an ambulance, we almost pay like only 25 euro for one drive.
Bro, I've
Yeah,
said this a
but-
million times. Guess how much I paid for a 2-minute ambulance ride?
Is it 3 digits or 4 digits?
Oh, it's definitely 4 digits.
4 digits.
Okay,
8,000.
$2,000 for a
it's
2-minute
crazy.
ambulance ride. And the thing is,
yeah.
not a lot happened in that ambulance ride. They were looking at me, I was looking at them. Yes, they put a catheter in me because I wouldn't pee and I was definitely borderline alcohol poison. But still, like, it was a 2-minute ambulance ride, and I'm like, $2,000? Yeah, you definitely got me fucked up. Like, it was just, what? Are you kidding me? No, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. So next time, or if that ever happens, I'm calling an Uber and they're taking me to the hospital, because I would much rather pay $50 for an Uber ride to a location like that is supposed to give me treatment than $1,000 on the back end. That's terrible. And I'm glad that I have health insurance that covers it, because, you know, the military, they cover your health insurance bills and da-da-da, which is great, because I do see people around me that do suffer because they don't have health insurance. And I'm like, damn, like imagine all the people that have fucked up teeth. Like, let's talk about that really quick. People have some
Let's talk
about
snap
the
teeth.
British.
Like, I'm like,
Let's
yo,
talk about the British.
like literally, oh, the British, dude. Oh, that's a whole nother topic, man. It's like somebody stuffed a grenade in their mouth and then forced it shut and then let that shit blow up, right? And then like they open their mouth and then you got gums and some missing teeth and whatever. And you know what it is? It's people like, you know, dipping and smoking too much and drinking and just not taking care of their stuff and not going to a goddamn dentist for them to tell them, hey, take better care of your teeth. Because of course here, dental care is incredibly expensive. Like, if you want braces here, it basically is like a down payment on a house. And I'm not exaggerating, a down payment on a house. Like,
You know how much we pay? Nothing.
bro, isn't that crazy? Bro, braces here, oh my god, dude. Like, I never had to have braces, thank god, but my dumb self wanted braces when I was a kid because everybody else wanted them. Like, everybody
And now I will
Everybody
know.
else needed them, my bad. Everybody else needed them. I wanted them because everybody else had them, and I wanted to be cool like I thought everybody else was, until I realized everybody just had fucked up teeth except for me. So I'm like, dang, all right, well, maybe I dodged a bullet there. Because, you know, it's crazy.
You want them as long as you don't have them, because braces are really annoying, especially if you get hit in the face and they pierce through your lips and bleed like hell.
The worst kind of situation you
I
can get
mean,
yourself
I never
in
got
is
hit in the face, so.
Yeah, I never had braces anyway, so. But I'm curious.
Did you still want me to answer?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to.
Sorry.
So just a little background story on my persona. So the way that I ended up in the States is I married a U.S. soldier and got stationed to the United States in 2002 and in North Carolina, so in the beautiful South.
Oh, yeah.
Right away.
Oh yeah.
And so we were always covered under TRICARE, which is the military universal health care, basically. And and as a German, I was really naive coming to the United States. You know, coming from, I mean, Germans are spoiled. Let me tell you something. Germans are spoiled. We are well taken care of by our government.
Literally.
To the contrary of what many Germans today think.
Yes.
But Germans are very well taken care of.
I know that we are. I know it.
So I never really had that. You know, so it was like a seamless transition, kind of, sort of, you know, because we had the universal healthcare with the military.
Yeah.
And so the children were covered, I was covered, you know, and so you go to the doctor on post, you know, they usually have military hospitals, and you're well taken care of there.
Yep.
And my husband now, he retired after over 20 years in the service. He retired from the military in 2015. And so we are eligible for continued health care through TRICARE. Okay,
cool.
So we still pay that small portion for the insurance that comes out of his retirement check with the military.
Okay.
However, we have 3 children. Okay.
Yeah.
My middle son, he joined the Navy, so
let's go.
Yeah, so he's taken care of. He joined. Oh God, when did he join? I want to say 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh wow, how old is he? Is he my age?
Yeah, but how old are you?
26.
Yes.
He's my age?
Yes.
90s babies, let's
25,
go.
26. Yeah. Then my oldest son, he's a little bit estranged currently, so he doesn't have any health insurance, no coverage. He lives paycheck to paycheck. He ran into some issues with the law, and I'm keeping that story short, but he is not covered at all. Okay, so he doesn't go see the dentist, he doesn't go see the doctor, none of that. And then my youngest, Janelle, she's 24. She after she graduated from college, because TRICARE, you can continue to cover your children until they either are 23 years old or when they finish college education, when they get their college
so it
degree.
ended for her basically.
Yes, so it ended for her in summer of 2019, and then she enrolled because she needed health insurance coverage. She enrolled in young adult TRICARE, so still under TRICARE, but we pay out of pocket or almost like $500 a month for her health insurance.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And then that does not cover dental insurance, so we just actually
so you would think health insurance would include dental. That's what I thought too.
No,
it's separate.
Here in the States,
it
it's
seems
all
very
separate.
messed up and exploitative.
It's very exploitative.
So you have medical health insurance, you have dental health insurance, and you have vision health insurance. So for eye care. So we just actually yesterday signed her up for dental and vision because she does need new glasses. She needs a new eyesight test and probably a new prescription. And we also signed her up for dental because that fell away when she fell off of our insurance. That fell away, so she had to sign up for her own, and she's due for her she was past due for her annuals, and she probably needs fillings, she says. So we just signed her up, and that is so for the dental and the vision, it's a combination that we did. She's paying like $75 a month, I think. But then, see, that doesn't cover everything. Again, there are co-pays,
especially with dental.
Christ.
Yep, with dental, there's co-pays for a lot of shit. Like, now, if you're active duty military, though, like, you don't have to do any of that. But even
unless as a spouse or a dependent, you go off post to a specialist, then you can have like co-pays with the office visit co-pays.
Exactly.
Like when she was in
the member, they don't cover the member's family like that. They cover like most, but not everything. I trust me. I know. I know.
So just to finish my point. So just to finish my point, I'm still covered under my husband because he stuck out the 20 plus years to be able to retire and get the lifetime benefits of medical care, but our children, they are no longer covered under that, which is BS in my opinion, because they endured 20 years of military life just as basically I did, and so why am I eligible but not the children who also went through 5 or 6 deployments with me and had that kind of lifestyle? You see what I'm saying? They also sacrificed. So in my opinion, they should continue to be covered. It's not like we get it for free. We still pay for the health insurance, but it's
question to that, because I think I know it's different in Germany. Is it true that when your husband is like a soldier or something in things, that you live like in special
housing?
Houses? Yeah.
More so in Germany than here in the States. You can live on post. Yeah, you can live on post, but you can also opt to live off post. Yeah. So when you live on post, there is like a basic housing allowance that the military pays the soldier to pay for housing. So when you live on post, they don't pay you that. So you live on post for free, basically. Okay. And if you opt to move off post to live in your own home, or you're buying a home, or you're renting a home or an apartment, then they pay you the basic housing allowance. Okay. So that was my background story. But I see, like James said, you have friends who are not affiliated with the military, who live a normal American everyday life, because military life is nothing what American life is like, basically, kind of, sort of. I hope I'm not exaggerating, James.
No, it's weird. It's like the best way I can describe it, because it is its own bubble, right? It's weird because
as a military family, correct?
Yes. So as a single military person, it's interesting because at that point I realized I don't really have to go to school, because a lot of my friends are going to school. They were and I remember the first thing I asked when I joined was, oh, okay, like, what are all of your friends that are out of the military that have never been in? They graduate to college, because all the people I worked with are older than me. So naturally, I asked the 29-year-olds, 30-year-olds, did the people that graduated college, did they get jobs in the fields that they went to college for? And 99% of the answers were no, they did not. They were working something entirely different. So I'm like, I put that puzzle piece together, and then the military in general pays pretty good. Despite what people say, it pays really good, actually. Your base pay is not very much, but you get benefits on top of that are non-taxable. Right. So for instance, to be transparent, I guess, the military right now, for how much I make, technically is around $70,000 with everything included, right? And I'm 26, so I think that's pretty good. For your
rank.
Yeah, that's
gotta keep the rank in mind, though.
Yeah, exactly, the rank. Yeah, exactly. So,
Dein Rang, du fängst ja niedrig an, ne, als Private, und dann Sergeant, und I don't know what it is in the Air Force, but
like
I'm in Army.
Yeah. So like it's about up there, right? And I'm like, oh, cool. So it's able to. So basically, it's cool because no matter where you go, they adjust your pay based on the area's housing. So if the housing in the area is expensive, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Now here's another question you might have. Oh, what happens when you get stationed in a place where only you can go, right? Like let's say you get deployed, and like your wife has to stay behind. Well, you get so there's one interesting situation. If you get sent to Korea, 9 times out of 10, your spouse cannot come with you. Even there's a family base there. There's Osan, there's Kunsan. Osan's the family base. There is a 99% chance your spouse and kids are not going to be able to come with you. Don't ask me why. Right. I don't know. No one knows. But when
I think it has to do with the size of the space available of Korea itself, South Korea.
Yeah, it might have to do with that, because when you get there, what they've been doing recently is they're moving everybody off base into their own apartments and stuff, right? So the thing is, like, you get to Korea, they don't have any space in the dorms anymore. So it's like, okay, cool, you get an apartment off base. And so, of course, you don't have the money to pay for the apartment off base, so they give you what's called OHA, which is Overseas Housing Allowance.
Housing allowance,
so if you're married, get this. So you're getting paid OHA, which is Overseas Housing Allowance, to pay for the place you're staying at. You still have a house back home, presumptually, or your spouse.
Or that your family has to live in,
Exactly. So they still give you BAH, which is your basic housing allowance, for everybody else in the chat that doesn't know that. And Plus, you get family separation pay because you're separated from your family. Plus, a little bit of hazard pay based on the threat level. So now, I'll put it this way. My friend made, what was it? He said he made $60,000 going to Korea by himself because he was married. He got moved off base, and they paid him, like, he said he was getting like $10,000 to $15,000 like checks and stuff every month, and I was like, God damn, okay, like, let me go shut my little broke self up. But it's interesting, right? And from that perspective, that creates that bubble of the military life, because you're able to do things that a lot of regular people could only dream of doing. They're like, whoa, like what the fuck, like this is insane. I remember like my cousin was in the Air Force, and I saw how lavish he was living. I'm like, I want to live like that. What the hell? All I got to do is sign on the dotted line. Like, sign me up. I'll do 20 years, and I still want to do 20 years despite the trouble I got into. But you know, it's cool. And then of course I'll get into the YouTube stuff later, but I'll put it this way: YouTube is definitely not anywhere as stable as the military at all. YouTube, to give you an idea, there was someone I knew who got out of the military in 2014, made a YouTube channel while he was in, and he has like 1.7 million subscribers. The problem is, as you see with my channel and a lot of other channels at the moment, the views aren't always going to be high, right? You're going to have years where your views are incredibly high. You can have months where you get like 15, 20 million views and get paid for those 15, 20 million views very well. You're going to have other years where you barely break 200,000 views a month, right? And mind you, like, you were at a high point before, but boom, like that's where you are then. So with YouTube, it's very different because you can make a bunch of money at one time and then never see that type of money for a few years. So you have to budget around that, because what I think people who live off of purely like social media money do, because they don't have experience with anything else, they take the check they get, they blow it all on like dumb shit, and then they're struggling. So that's what happened to the guy. He got out of the military to do YouTube. He made a safe $500,000, right, like doing YouTube and stuff like that, and his views tanked because he did it to himself, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, he switched his content up too drastically, and his audience was not fucking with it. So he tried to switch back, and that didn't work because he already screwed himself over pretty much. And then he decided, oh well, what if I just leave YouTube for 6 months, come back and see if they fuck with me like that? They did not at all. Like, he came back, his views got a quarter of views he had before he left. So my point is, the only reason why he was able to kind of even maneuver even to this day is because he has leftover money from when he was making that,
when it was good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have that much time because I gotta work tomorrow, and it's already 3:30 a.m. in Germany.
Oh, true. It's all good.
I just wanted to finish tell you about my friend who lost everything, even though she had health insurance.
Ooh.
So one of my good friends, she has a family. She has 4 children. They're all adults now.
Yeah.
But she has 4 children. Her husband was working. She was working. I mean, good working American, everyday, nice people, right?
Yeah.
Health insurance, everything good. They had a house. They had bought a house so that they were owning. They had 2 cars. You know, just the cookie cutter American family.
Yeah.
And they're making a good living for themselves. And then she got leukemia.
Oh shit.
She got leukemia and went through cancer treatment. The children were all still young. You know, they were like in their pre-teens and grade school age. You know, elementary school age basically. Yeah. And so she couldn't work anymore, of course. And then her husband at the same time also had some sort of tumor. They got a double whammy.
Oh,
he also needed to go through. So he also lost his job because he also went through cancer treatment.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, they lost everything. They had to file bankruptcy. They lost both cars. They were repossessed. The house was foreclosed. They lost everything until I believe now 3 years ago. I mean, she's older than me, so she's almost 50 now.
Jesus Christ.
Just until like, I'm gonna say a year or 2 ago, she is finally now at a point in her life where she has dug herself out of most of the debt that was accrued by that, even though she had health insurance.
Jesus
Christ. So my mother actually had leukemia too, like a year ago. She survived it.
Thank
so
God.
She's already out of it. And she didn't have to pay, thanks. She didn't have to pay a penny for it. Okay. The health insurance covered all of it. And James, because I think you know it. But James,
Yeah.
do you know how much we pay for the health insurance on a monthly basis?
Like $20.
No, it's
it's,
more.
it's a percent thing. It's a percent thing. So we actually pay 14% of our whole salary for the health insurance, but
Oh.
the half of that,
So
is
7.something
covered.
percent.
Boss. Yeah, is covered by your boss. So actually, like 7% of your whole salary is paid for the health insurance.
Right.
Wow, that's
And then you don't have co-pays. You don't have the co-pays. Medication is very low
Everything is
cost.
in it.
that's amazing.
Everything is in there, and there are some things you don't have to pay for, because my girlfriend, for example, she need a special like Schiene für den Mund. Was kann man? Weißt du, was das
What?
heißt?
Like
Wie eine Schiene im
Ja.
Mund. So eine Schiene.
A Schiene?
Meine Mutter.
ja,
Like-
so,
like
so
a cast?
Invisalign-mäßig, so.
For teeth?
Yeah,
Ja.
for teeth.
Oh, eine Schiene.
Ja, nicht eine
Ähm.
Schiene, eine Schiene.
Ja, eine Schiene.
Like, yeah, not braces, but like like a plastic thing
I
you
think
put on your
it's-
teeth
I think
to
it's called
correct the teeth.
A
Retainer.
retainer.
So
Oh, like
It's-
what is it called? It's on the tip of my tongue.
yeah.
Invisalign.
Anyway, so normally they are free,
Yeah.
so paid from the health insurance, but she needs a special one for a special illness she has with the teeth,
Oh Jesus.
and that she had to pay for herself, and that was €1,000.
oh wow.
So, wanted to say there are small things we really have to pay and are not covered,
Yeah.
but it's like
It's nothing compared to America.
1% of it.
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
0.1% of the stuff is we have to pay for ourselves. Everything else is covered. But yeah, 7% of our salary. That sounds much.
No, it
But-
actually isn't. So I
Not
used to
though.
think I used to think that it was a lot, that you guys did pay a lot in taxes, but I literally just said in a recent video that honestly, compared to what we have to pay for a bunch of bullshit
Yes.
things here, it is honestly a blessing that you guys are paying that. To be honest, like, it's a blessing.
You
You guys
can
get a like.
The more you, yeah, the more you earn, the more you have to pay percent-wise. So you
Yeah.
can say like if you earn like €2,000 brutto. Brutto is like the base salary.
Before taxes.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Gross income.
for taxes. Of that, around 30% you have to pay for taxes, health insurance, everything else,
Yeah.
and social insurance in general, because we don't only have health insurance,
Yeah.
we also have other insurances. When you earn like €4,000,
Yeah.
then it's almost something like 40%, and when you earn like €6,000, it's 50% already.
Oh,
so
shit.
when
But
you
that's if you're not married without children. Now, if you're married and
Yeah.
you have children, that's a whole nother ball game. Then it goes
Children doesn't
substantially
matter.
lower.
Children don't matter anymore. So we have, but that with children and married is only for the taxes, because
Yeah,
we
that's
have
what I
like
meant.
this Steuerklassen.
Yeah,
So
that's what
I'm
I
in
meant.
Steuerklasse 1, Steuerklasse 1, which is like the normal one for everyone.
Oh, yeah,
Then you
yeah,
have
of course.
then you have 3, 4, and 5 is for married people.
Yeah. I remember going through that
three-
whole thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
3 is like the best one. So when you have 3, because you are a big earner in the family, then you obviously don't have to pay that much taxes.
Yeah, there's a
But-
website that you can do the calculations on.
Yeah,
with that.
Right.
exactly.
But then there's also the children's benefit money that you get every month. Kindergeld.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
having a child.
mostly
Child
the
support.
children are more expensive than what you get.
Oh, but I actually do have to close the video here because I gotta go eat dinner. But I
Yeah, I
I
got
have to go
sleep.
cook dinner.
Oh, hey.
It was nice, guys.
This is a very good,
Go
very
to sleep.
eye-opening conversation. Very thank you so much. I'm definitely going to be doing this a lot more often because I learned a lot. I learned a lot in this conversation, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people that are watching this probably did too. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. And I'm sorry I had to cut the conversation short. I have to go eat. Like my girl just made.
Thank
dinner
you,
and stuff,
thank you
and
for cutting it short. I gotta sleep.
Same.
Oh wow.
Same. My sleep
Way
schedule
too
is
long.
really messed up.
Well, 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 what a pleasure it is to see all of your beautiful faces at the end of this lovely video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you know, as I've mentioned in the past, we do have a Discord that's linked in the description down below, and we would love to have you a part of the world's greatest community ever, Braygang. Yes, if you've made it to this point in the video, you're officially a part of the community. So go ahead, join the Discord server. Link is in the description down below. And we also have other social media as well, like Instagram, Twitter. We're live. We go live on Twitch quite often as well. So it would behoove you to, go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JamesBraygang. Join the cause and be a part of the greatest, literally the greatest community ever. Okay, it's simple. Just go ahead and do those little things. We're trying to grow on all these little platforms and everything, and it really means a lot. Now, I know you guys stumbled up across the channel and you're like, what does this guy post? Like, what kind of content does he post? Reactions, vlogs, pretty much whatever comes to my mind. All right, it's random content. I don't know what I'm gonna be posting 10 years from now, but I do know that you can stick along for the journey, and it really means a lot. Now, for every single person that subscribes and follows all of the accounts that I have made, and all the links will be in the description down below, that's an automatic entry for any future giveaways I decide to have. I'll remind you when the giveaways take place, but you'll be surprised what I will be giving away because you guys have supported me so much up to this point, and it's only right that I do the same thing back. Thank you guys so much for being amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.